PLA operational doctrine focuses on preparing for, conducting, and sustaining multi-domain, integrated, joint operations on land, in the air, at sea, and in the space, cyber, electromagnetic spectrum, and information domains. This requires units from multiple elements of the Chinese armed forces, supported by civilian capabilities. Depending on the location, these operations may include contributions from multiple services and forces in high and low technology units using both new and legacy weapons and equipment. The PLA seeks first to deter war or, if deterrence fails, to win an early victory. The PLA also prepares for prolonged conflict on multiple fronts, or strategic directions. The PLA currently is seeking to expand its global reach by gradually shifting its focus from land operations and offshore waters defense to a combination of offshore waters defense with open seas protection. The officers and soldiers in the political work system at battalion and higher-level organizations employ three warfare measures at the tactical, operational, and strategic level of war in both peace and war, making them non-kinetic warriors that fight alongside kinetic forces. The basic principles of PLA doctrine are, quote, active defense and, quote, people's war, and date back to Mao and the Chinese Civil War. Active defense is called both a military strategy and a strategic guideline, but is more of a guideline about when and how to fight than a strategy detailing how forces are applied to achieve objectives. Active defense is based on the principle that, quote, we will not attack unless we are attacked, but we will surely counterattack if attacked. Despite its name, when the situation permits, offensive actions are encouraged at all levels of war during all stages of conflict. Preemptive offensive actions may be employed if the enemy has taken the, quote, first shot on the plane of politics and strategy in order to defeat him in a small war. Kinetic or non-kinetic warning or demonstration strikes may be conducted to deter an enemy from taking action or to demonstrate China's escalation dominance, especially in the nuclear, space, and cyber domains. People's War involves the mobilization of all elements of China's national power, including military, government, civilian, economic, industrial, and technological assets to achieve its international and domestic objectives. People's War integrates military and civilian forces, old and new capabilities and units, high and low technology weapons, and regular and irregular forces that operate using flexible strategies and tactics. The 2006 Defense White Paper spoke of, quote, exploring the strategy and tactics of maritime people's war under modern conditions. This concept includes, quote, sparrow warfare, in which small units strike targets quickly and then disperse, and ambush operations conducted by both regular troops and the masses, such as assets from commercial entities and maritime militia units. For more than a decade, China's actions in both the South China Sea and East China Sea have employed maritime people's war tactics. The contemporary concepts of military-civilian integration, or fusion, is an important evolution to the concept of people's war, in which the civilian sector supports the military and vice versa in many more ways than technological cooperation, which are spelled out in Unit 3. In order to make the program work, a system of PLA military representatives throughout the country coordinates with government offices and commercial enterprises to provide civilian services and ensure quality control. In the maritime domain, the PLA's focus is concentrated within the First Island Chain, or the near seas of the Yellow Sea, East China Sea, Taiwan Strait, and South China Sea, while expanding its capabilities that can reach the Second Island Chain, anchored on Guam as seen on the map. The PLA is gradually increasing operations toward Hawaii and the U.S. West Coast and into the Indian Ocean, Gulf of Aden and Persian Gulf, Mediterranean Sea, and the Atlantic and Arctic Oceans. In 2020, DoD described the PLA Navy's ability to perform missions beyond the First Island Chain as modest but growing. PLA Air Force, Rocket Force, and Strategic Support Force capabilities increasingly augment naval forces beyond the First Island Chain. Army units such as amphibious, helicopter, long-range rocket, air defense, and special operations are being strengthened to support maritime joint operations within the First Island Chain. To summarize what has been introduced in this module, while coordinating military modernization with the national economic development, China seeks to achieve the following national defense goals listed in the 2019 White Paper. These 9 bullet points represent the political, military, social, and economic objectives that all elements of the Chinese armed forces seek to achieve through warfighting, deterrence, or military operations other than war. The PLA, PAP, and militia each contribute to achieving these goals through the missions assigned them by the National Defense Law. Previously, many threats, including that of Taiwan independence, have been referred to under the rubric of terrorism, separatism, and extremism.